Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. We're just going to get into the private messages. So, someone says, I think going to Magic Mike's is actually a person. We have Quack Quack, Potter Paper, Johnny Vegas, Rocky. I think we are looking for a person. I think it's Chris. He is the one trying to appear genuine, but making all the awkward narratives disappear. Or Luggy, the sleight of hand guy, making us look this way, appearing that people we think were there were never there, creating the illusion. Share this thought with Duncan. He is the word guy. Interesting stuff. I know Duncan does listening to the channel, and like I said, very, very intelligently written there, appearing that people we think were there were never there, creating the illusion. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting indeed. Let us move on to the Canarian Weekly. So, 10 arrested in a major money laundering raid in Tenerife. A large-scale joint operation between the Guardia Civil and the National Police has led to the arrest of 10 people in Tenerife as part of an ongoing investigation into money laundering. Where have we heard that before? More arrests across other Canary Islands have not been ruled out, according to official sources. The operation, which remains active, including the search of several properties. One of these was carried out yesterday morning, Tuesday, in Togoronte, following judicial authorization. The raid drew local attention due to the significant police presence in the area. The property is a question is located next to the offices of Justinian Y Plain Amintuo Territorial, a public company of the Canary Islands government dedicated to territorial planning and environmental management. Authorities clarified that a guest plan has no connection to the investigation. Officers simply asked its staff to remain inside the building temporarily, so as not to interfere with the police operation. Although details are still emerging, sources have confirmed that 10 people are currently in custody and that further operations may follow. The Guardia Civil deployed extensive resources in the coordinated effort targeting the concealment of illicit funds and the conversion of criminal proceeds into seeming legitimate assets. Money laundering is a serious criminal offence under Spanish law, defined as the act of hiding or disguising the illegal origin of goods or funds to make them appear lawful. It is covered under Article 298 2304 of the Spanish Penal Code and includes inquiring, converting, or transferring property derived from criminal activity, obviously to make it legit. Further information is expected as the investigation continues across Tenerife and potentially other islands in the archipelago. Very, very interesting stuff there. So, what was the thing I look at is, like I said, a lot of the petty crimes or bodies turning up. For me, they tend to look into it for hard for the first couple of days, and then say, "Oh, this person's missing." We'll just put it on the person's investigation list, and then when a family member turns up on the island and says, "Hey, I'm not happy that basically the information you've stopped putting it out there because the case is unsolved," and they tend to give up, especially if they think it's rug related or that person got in trouble for being on rugs or drunk and fell off a cliff. Do you know what I mean? It's like this Nathan case. It's really, really bizarre how they look at things. Whereas I think our criminal law and our police tend to look at every aspect of cases very, very quickly. And this is why I think that we get a lot of arrests at the end of the day, because, like I said, generally, I know we've had big profile cases, which obviously we believe that, people believe that the police had let people down. So we move on to fugitive wanted for human trafficking found hiding in South Tenerife. Interesting. flipping all sorts going out up there, isn't there? Fugitive wanted for human trafficking. All this, people, is in the Canarian Weekly, found hiding in South Tenerife, 30th 11th, 2025. A national police officer have arrested an international fugitive in the south of Tenerife. He was wanted by Belgian authorities for alleged involvement in human trafficking and belonging to a criminal organisation. There are crimes that could carry on a prison sentence up to 20 years. While the urgent request for its location and arrest was received on the 13th of October 2025, leading to immediate action by the Spanish authorities. Investigators soon identified several possible addresses linked to the suspect in the coastal area of Los Abrigas, Grandilla de Abona, where a foreign registered vehicle connected to him was also spotted. During the operation, officers confirmed that the man's identity and moved into the arrest him safely without any trouble. He was then taken to the police headquarters for questioning and processing before being handed over to the court. Tenerife has become a popular hiding place for fugitives, I bet, yeah, on the run from justice elsewhere in Europe. In 2024, police in a DJ detained a British man wanted in the UK for large-scale drug trafficking after he was spotted living under a false identity in a holiday apartment. Unbelievable. Really is. Earlier the same year, a German national accused of financial crimes was caught in Los Cristianos following a joint operation between Spanish and Europol investigators. Authorities say Tenerife's popularity as both a tourist destination and a place to settle a long term can make it easier for wanted people to blend in. Of course, and obviously connections out there, if they're into the rug world or basically into trafficking as well, they're going to always have connections in Tenerife. It's just about that lifestyle, to be honest with you. But like I said, the police seem to be looking into a lot of things that I think they should have dealt with a long time before. But like I said, I understand it's manpower and every police force works a little bit differently. Video 2, arrested as police raid cannabis clubs in Costa Adige. This was at the end of another Canarian Weekly, people, that someone sent me. National police officers working with the DJ local police have shut down several alleged drug selling points operating as a cannabis association in the Puerto Colon area of Costa Adige in the south of Tenerife. The operation followed numerous complaints from local residents and businesses about a rise in illegal activity linked to drug trafficking at premises presenting themselves as non-profit members, only social clubs who were in reality selling rugs to holidaymakers. Yet from that business property, 11 arrests and £100,000 in cash seized, euros seized. Searches were carried out at 4 associations and 2 homes, resulting in 11 people, 6 men and 5 women aged 20 to 52 of various nationalities being arrested. It just seems like to me, Tenerife, it's just a farm for crooks, a lot of it. Officers seized approximately 4.5 kg of marijuana, more than 800 grams of hashish, over 100,000 euros in cash, equipment for indoor cultivation, pre-rolled joints ready for sale, and irregular recording cameras that breach data protection rule of irregular. Speaks for it. It really does sum up some of the cases we looked at the end of the day. Not enough recording and video cameras, and yeah, I bet these ones missed a lot, didn't they? They breached data protection rules, I bet. Numerous administrative offences were also detected, triggering a second phase of inspections by local police. And it's only because the neighbours have realised there's so much activity going on and, bad business coming around the area that the police and the councils have had to do something about it. According to the investigators, the associations were not operating for social or therapeutic purposes, but as retail drug outlets catering to tourists. Harming the islands, there we go, international image and local economy. Many allegedly promoted their services on social media to attract visitors. There you go. And this is all undercover, and undercover in the way that people know where to go when they're going out there, especially if they're smokers. Ongoing cooperation, how to report. The National Police reaffirmed their commitment to working with local authorities, courts, and private port security to prevent and eradicate illegal drug sales in high-profile tourist areas such as a DJ. Residents and visitors who have information of suspicious activity about illegal drug activity can contact anti-droga at policia.es. So that's ANTIDROGA at POLICIA.es. Interesting stuff. Like I said, it seems like they're having a bit of a clear up. I think they're forced to sometimes, but like I said, I think it's absolutely just pressured, to be honest with you, pressure from residents and people who don't like what's going on. Fair play to them. Move on to gang dismantled in Tenerife, responsible for brutally murdering and delivering body to a police station. Wow, this is crazy. Gang dismantled in Tenerife, responsible for brutally murdering and delivering a body to a police station. This is crazy. The National Police have dismantled the so-called Anaza gang in Tenerife, a violent criminal organisation linked to murder of a young man whose dead body was delivered to a police station in Santa Cruz de Tenerife earlier this year. 8 members of the group have already been sent to prison, while 4 others remained under investigations. Authorities say that a case is still open and further arrests are not ruled out. Among those detained is Moses Bort, a former professional fighter and member of the De Sacupa Horda, a controversial group known for intervening in property disputes across Spain, who, along with another suspect, reportedly took the victim's body to the police station in the early hours of the 30th of July. The crime that shocked Tenerife, according to the investigations, Bort and another man identified as Andres Moises and Francisco Johnny El Gordo arrived at the Santa Cruz police station with the body of Alberto Manuel Gonzalez, patron known as Albertito. Inside the same vehicle was another victim nicknamed Leon, who was found severely injured but alive. His later testimony proved key to uncovering the structure of the criminal network. Wow, that's seriously big. Police say the murder stemmed from a drug-related dispute described as a Volco de Droga and attempted robbery between rival trafficking groups. The gang allegedly lured the victims from rural property in Gurma under the pretense of a rug transaction before ambushing them. Brutal attack and 24-hour captivity. Investigators revealed that Alberto Gonzalez was beaten to death after being held captive for 24 hours in a garage in Santa Maria del Mar in Santa Cruz del Tenerife. The survived victim was also tied up and assaulted but managed to stay alive. Police described the assault as brutal, involving multiple gang members who took part in both the initial ambush and the subsequent transport of victims. A structured criminal organisation, authorities have confirmed that the Anaza gang was composed of at least 12 members operating with a clear hierarchy. The group leader, Aaron V.A., known as Aaron L. Kaka, allegedly ordered the attack as a revenge for the suspected drug theft. Interesting. Each member reportedly had specific roles, from planning and execution to guarding the victims, cleaning crime scenes, destroying evidence, and covering up the crime. This is really big stuff, people. The gang even attempted to bribe the surviving victims, offering a large sum of money in exchange for his silence. Ongoing investigation. Police operations began early in August with raids in Guimar and Santa Maria del Mar, leading to the seizure of evidence and the arrest of multiple suspects. The surviving victim, Leon, provided a statement to police under tight security on the 8th of August after receiving serious death threats. I bet he's got off the island now, though, isn't he? Authorities say the investigations remain open and active. The detectives continue to trace the network and criminal and drug trafficking connections across Tenerife. This shocking case sent ripples through Tenerife, not only for its level of violence, but also due to the involvement of public figured linked to the activist group De Sacupa Horror. Wow. It's absolutely crazy sometimes, the actual world we live on. And, you know, a lot of us lead normal lives, but when you're hearing this stuff, it's like completely, you know, like a movie or something. It's absolutely crazy. So a private message says that they stumbled across a picture of Lucy in my suggested people on Facebook. There seems to be no HMRC, but they could be sole traders. Interesting. So the bridal wedding car, the bridal wedding car. I'll put these up, people, so someone can have a look. To be honest with you, but I'm not sure whether it's got anything to do with Lucy. So I probably. She may be, you know, she could have been modelling for the bridal shop, to be honest with you. I doubt she'd be working there, to be honest with you. Not what we've heard. Superstore Limited filing history, find and update company information. Yeah, so the Airbnb Jay Slater case. So this person says you've just dropped a video with a picture of the Airbnb. I'm seeing a big fat chimney on the square building and on the top of the cafe. I have never seen that before. Look at the picture. I have the roof. It's rickety, which makes sense. We saw the state of the inside, but no big fat chimney above the cafe on your picture. There are also two big fat chimneys now. What could they possibly need all these big fat chimneys for? That's really interesting. Really, really interesting. I will definitely put what you set up at the end of the day, because like I said, it makes a lot of sense in what you're saying to compare to pictures that we've seen before. Yeah, I'll definitely put that up. You don't know what businesses, to be honest, they've got there. We know that it's really got sort of dodgy dealings. Do you know what I mean? We've always done that. It's sort of been a little bit weird, but I will put these up for the streamliners. A little bit on. It's time to revisit this too, because the AU pictures were forced to be taken down, and Ali is working on PP. I've not heard that she is, to be honest with you. She's not talking about the Jay Slater case at the moment. And so this person goes on, above the Maruba boat stuff, please forward all to Duncan. He needs to look at one, the blue Maruba B83399793. B indicates Belgium. The number indicates the manufacturer serial number. The photo was taken by Sergio Foresta. This yacht is Class B MMIS 2058-10130. Call sign OP8101. It's a 13-meter long to the red Maruba. Means it's non-lucrative for up to 12 people. It was registered in Cadiz. Third 312492. The manufacturer seal number is MMIS 22556-140. Call sign 241401. Spanish Class B. Photo by Doran Presteri. It's a 40 meters long, that one. Crucially, both boats have a tender garage which can transport passengers to share where the keel would prevent access. This makes the Maruba the ideal choice for shifty stuff. Interesting. We knew there were two transporters, and it was flagged early in the case. People thought we had one boat with two transponders. We were wrong. There are two boats. The transponders of both were turned off for significant amounts of time, and we only have one set of AIS data correct because we didn't understand there were two boats. We knew that one Maruba liaised with a second boat near the Juan Lopez beach, reported a blue boat. We now know that the Spanish searched the red boat for pictures in the papers. My theory is that the red boat is the clean boat. It has an alibi when shifty stuff is going on with the blue one. Think about it. Who is looking for a different boat when they are shown to a boat of the same name? Interesting stuff. It can work as well. I know what you're saying. We also saw the first ransom note that was on the Snapchat. It had a boat steps in the background, and you could see the blue canvas storm canopy and the blue paint on the stairs. Debbie now has a different ransom note, apparently WhatsApp, which of course has no background. Mama D showed us Tom H on a boat pretending to be Jay in the back of a car. She broke the whole picture down, and it was clear it was not Jay. It was not a car, and we could see the stairs and light source. It did really appear to have blood spill on the floor. She got slated for it, even suggesting it was a boat, and the AG was quick to blend the snap into the back of the car, ensuring that the light source looked like the courtesy light over the rear door. Cupra and most other cars don't have this. They have one in the center. They then, as you know, created a whole new snap with Josh Forshaw replacing Tom H because we were getting too close to the truth. Very clever stuff. The creators who were bullied about the Maruba, Marina and beach footage included Mama D, Bobs and Bits and Joseph Morris. Bits and Bobs gave up. He was threatened. Yeah, but he changed his whole attitude basically on the case and just went dead, to be honest with you. But he was absolutely brilliant. Sorry, it wasn't Bits and Bobs. I was thinking about somebody else who basically went across to the other side and was just talking to Aya, but like it was like they were friends, which was really strange. Another creator, but not Bits and Bobs. Bits and Bobs are brilliant. What you should be thinking is that TH was on the boat. The boat is the perfect way for TH and the others to get in and out of the island without a passport. Lucy had booked 2 rooms at Pension Bayer. That was odd because she didn't need a place to stay. We also know there is, interesting. We also know there is no physical reception at the pension, so it's easy to keep a hood up, spend the night and leave. Cash will have been used for eating, etc., and they know where the CCTV is and crucially isn't, or at least can't be removed with ease for a few pounds. Yeah, definitely. I believe, this person goes on to say, I believe the photo of Brandon, Jay and Lucy is also faked. I have the original. Jay's face is just put over the similar looking boy's face. Brandon's hair has always been added to someone else's with David Larkin's face. One leg is smudged, the other too, and then he looks older than at the funeral. Lucy also looks odd and was not on that side of the original photo. Jay has a grey wristband, Brandon does not. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. This person goes on to say, you are very aware Debbie can't get her timeline straight. The police banging her door at 2 a.m. on Monday 17th, and she got a phone call from Lucy at 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 18th, and was in such a state she had to be driven home. She says she arrived in the morning in Tenerife, printed in the papers as the 18th. I actually believe that he was taken, and the first snapshot Tom Hayes on the Maruba pretending to be him was sent early on Saturday morning. They gave him Friday night out to get some photos. We see at AU and Sugar Reef, neither were NRG venues. Very true. And think he landed. They took his and Brad's passport bank cars, passport banks, cars, driving licenses, and cash. And soon as they landed, he never had an NRG wristband. That would give the police too much information. Brad and Jay's banks were used for collected money. I think Rach, who was there all the time, set up the GoFundMe first for Brad, but she knew Jay was going to need one, so kept Brad's name out of it. She went to great lengths to delete information on her Facebook group and made sure it couldn't ever come to light again. She got what she needed to get head out. He just got a beating, then told Lucy to sort Jay's. I also think that Debbie never booked Jay's hotel, and the upgrade story was to cover that she hadn't. The second hotel was mocked up. Interesting. For the police to search and find nothing untoward. I bet it's a sniffer dog went there, they'd found no scent of him there either. Very, very interesting. And like I said, even though the police got leads, I think they didn't want to basically chase this up. To be honest with you, I really do think that. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, really, really interesting information. I will definitely put some of it up. You know, there is a lot of information, people. But like I said, I'm so behind on a lot of videos. But like I said, we've got to make sure they're good and put that out there. So some of this important stuff I will put up. But thank you for all your input. I appreciate you all. Let me know what you think, people. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. And like I said, there's so many. I wouldn't even say clever. I would say, you know, sort of deceitful people in this world at the end of the day. And they cover their tracks because their criminal mind, they only can think one way. They don't think like a normal person. They think in a criminality way. And this is why I think this case not only did get a lot of attention, but it still leaves a bad taste in your mouth, knowing what happened to Jay and others that go out there. And like I said, this silence speaks volume into what truly happened to Jay Slater. Let me know your thoughts, people. Thank you for your support for the channel. Please like the video and we march on. Thank you.